Hello Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Libra, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Libra, let's get started. So we do have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And then we also have release your ex at the bottom of the deck. The time has come to clear your energy. I feel like you're being divinely guided to let something and or someone go is basically what I'm getting. Now, for some of you, you could have already let this person go. For others of you, you might find yourself struggling to let this particular individual go. For those of you who find yourself in that boat where you're having a very difficult time letting someone go is concerned, I think that deep down inside you know that this person's not good for you, but as far as letting go is concerned, that's where things start to get a little bit challenging and difficult for you. For those of you who already let this person go, it kind of looks like... it kind of looks like you still could very well be holding on, energetically speaking, because I keep getting that storyline is going to basically be the same for all of you, regardless of what's going on, regardless if you let this person go already or not. I just kind of feel like this individual in particular is just not good for you, and deep down inside you know that, and it's time for you to let this person go, regardless if you already let this person go or not. Because if you did let this person go, energetically speaking, you're still holding on, causing you to still feel tied to the past, making it very challenging and difficult for you to move forward and move on with your life. But for others of you, like I said, you could still, technically speaking, still be with this person, even though you shouldn't continue to remain with this person. But let's look a little bit more into the situation and see what's going on. We're going to start off with you first, and we'll jump over to your person. Just keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. Okay. So we do have the Queen of Swords, which it is Libra energy, regardless of your gender, male or female, doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. But we do have the Nine of Swords to the Five of Pentacles, and then we also have the Queen of Swords. This to me feels like phases that you're kind of going through. This to me feels like phases that you're going through currently at the moment. You could very well be dealing with somebody that deep down inside is just not good for you. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and possibly even financially, this dynamic between you and this person has definitely been affecting you in a very, very negative way, causing you to, feel deep down inside within you that this person, this dynamic that you share with this person is just simply not good for you. Now, even though deep down inside you know that this dynamic between you and this person is just simply not good for you and it's affecting you in all different areas of your life, walking away seems like a very challenging and difficult thing for you to do. It's something that you should do, but as far as actually doing it is concerned, that's where things get a little tricky and hard. Primarily because of fear. That's what it all really kind of boils down to is fear. What is my life going to look like without this person in it? Am I going to be okay or am I not going to be okay? Am I going to be better off without this person or not? Fear is what's basically stopping you from removing yourself from something deep down inside does not resonate with you anymore and is just simply not good for you anymore. Don't get me wrong. I feel like once upon a time you and this person resonated with one another. I feel like once upon a time this dynamic as well as this person brought nothing but good into your life. But that is no longer basically the case is what I'm getting. And I think that deep down inside you can obviously see that, acknowledge that, and know that, and feel that. Do I feel like eventually you'll move past this fear that you're experiencing on your behalf? Yes. I just kind of feel like it might take some time for you to essentially get there, but will you eventually get there? Yes, I am definitely getting that. So whatever is currently holding you back, which I do believe it has a lot to do with fear and the level of the unknown, these are things that may be stopping you now that are not going to stop you later. Okay. How does this person currently view this relationship? I mean, no complaints coming from this person. You know what I mean? No complaints coming from this person whatsoever. This is one of those things where it's like what's going to make them happy is not going to make you happy. And what's going to make you happy is not going to make them happy. At the end of the day, this dynamic is not making you happy. Okay. Now, does it make this person happy? Yeah, absolutely. No complaints, like I said, coming from this person. It doesn't appear to me that you are affecting this person's life in a negative way, in any way, shape, and or form. We cannot say the same, though, the other way around. Because it does appear to me that this person, your relationship with this person, is affecting you in a very, very negative way. Hence why you're unhappy, hence why, you don't want to continue to be a part of this dynamic between the two of you due to the way that it's essentially affecting you. But when we look at this person, I mean, we basically see somebody who, for the most part, is very happy and content. The primary reason why this person's very happy and content is because you're not affecting this person's life in a negative way, in any way, shape, and or form. Okay. As far as they're concerned, they basically feel like they hit the lotto with you. So then there's that. Okay. How does Libra currently feel? So we have the Ace of Swords, you got the Five of Swords. And then we also have the King of Cups out here. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Cups, so the Seven of Cups, and then we also have the Seven of Swords out here. I see. Yeah, you're experiencing a battle between what your mind wants you to do versus what your heart wants you to do. Okay. It's like your mind doesn't agree with what your heart wants you to do, and your heart doesn't agree with what your mind wants you to essentially do in this entire situation. And you're just like, okay, but which one do I listen to? Do I listen to what my mind wants me to do, or do I listen to what my heart wants me to do? Creating a lot of, indecisiveness within you, as well as a lot of inner conflict within you. With the Five of Swords to the Ace of Swords to the King of Cups coming out here, I feel like you're dealing with somebody who tends to confuse you a lot. It's like one day this person makes it seem like they really do love you. They can't picture nor fathom their life without you. The next day, it's like this person's making you feel like you basically mean absolutely nothing, to them. Which causes you to really question, man, does this person really love me? Do they really care about me? Because, if they do, why are they treating me like this? Why do they talk to me like this? Why do they do this to me? Why do they do that to me? Okay. All right. Let's jump back over to this person, shall we? How does this person currently feel? Okay. So we have the Eight of Wands. We have the Tower out here. And then we also have the Four of Cups. Before I open my mouth and say anything, tell me more about the Four of Cups. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords. We got the Magician. And then we also have the Knight of Wands out here. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who has a very difficult time taking accountability. Let's just start there, because that's like the first thing that I noticed about this person. They have a very difficult time taking accountability. Now, with all of that basically being said, I do feel like this person does certain things to cause the relationship between the two of you to become very, very toxic and very, very unhealthy, especially for you. Now, with all of that being said, okay, I just kind of feel like they have a hard time realizing that, recognizing that, and acknowledging that, which to me kind of feels like you're dealing with somebody who more than likely has a very difficult time taking accountability. It's like this person basically looks at you like you're the reason why the two of you argue. You're the reason why the two of you fight. You're the reason why the two of you don't have a healthy and stable relationship with one another. It is not them that's the problem. They're basically looking at you like you are the problem, is primarily what I'm getting. This person also feels like you just can't stand when things are really good between the two of you. I'm also getting that. This person feels like you just can't stand when things are peaceful between the two of you. You always got to start something. You always got to cause a fight. You always got to cause an argument. This person feels like you just can't stand when things are peaceful between the two of you. Well, I'm so sorry. It kind of looks like it's very hard for you to remain happy and content within your relationship with this person when this person's constantly, stressing you out, giving you reasons to want to get up and walk away. Okay. If the shoe was on the other foot, this person will be able to essentially relate to you and what you're essentially going through. But because the shoe is not on the other foot, this person cannot relate to you and what you're essentially going through. Again, going back to what I said, no complaints coming from this person whatsoever. This dynamic is not affecting them in the ways that it's essentially affecting you. Okay. So yeah, no complaints whatsoever. This person, is not dealing with somebody who's basically putting them through the same things that they essentially put you through. Therefore, the connection is not affecting them in a negative way, the way that it's essentially affecting you, if that makes absolutely any sense. So with that being said, with that being said, um, uh, the thing when it comes down to this person not being able to take accountability is, if it's one thing that I noticed throughout the course of me doing, tarot, when a person has a very difficult time taking accountability for the things that they essentially do within a marriage, within a relationship, within a friendship, whatever have you, they're more likely or even prone, right, to essentially make the same mistake again or do the same thing again that creates the relationship, or that causes the relationship, I'm sorry, to become very toxic and very unhealthy. In other words, if this person cannot see where they're going wrong, they're going to turn around and essentially do it again. Therefore, you're going to turn around and continue to find yourself in the same predicament with this person over and over and over and over again. So if this person's constantly doing things on their end that stress you out, that give you anxiety, that causes you to overthink things, that causes you to really question their intentions, towards you, because they don't see the error in their own rate and their own ways, they're going to turn around and basically do it again, causing the situation to never improve, causing you to find yourself in the exact same predicament over and over again. Okay, what actions will Libra take towards this person or moving forward? All right, so basically going back to what I originally said. Whatever is currently holding you back now is not going to hold you back later. It might take you a month to hit this energy. It might take you a year to hit this energy. Point is that you will eventually hit this energy when you're supposed to. Okay, when you're supposed to, because it's all about divine timing. Okay, so if you have a fear of walking away from this marriage and a relationship that you currently find yourself in, a month from now, if that's what the universe essentially wants, because it's all about timing when it comes onto your particular situation. If this energy hits you a month from now where you no longer have fear to get up and walk away from this, dynamic, you will essentially walk away from this dynamic and never essentially look back. And when you do walk away from this dynamic, whenever the timing is essentially right for you to do so, okay, because I do see it eventually happening, I do see something falling into place for you. But here's how I basically kind of see this essentially playing out, okay? I'm gonna be honest, it kind of looks like, yes, you will leave this dynamic when the timing is essentially right, but I am definitely getting that something is going to come along that's going to essentially inspire you to up and leave this marriage and a relationship, and it will be another person. Okay. And I'm just, being very honest and transparent with what it is that I'm seeing here. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like that's how this is going to essentially play out. So in other words, you're going to find yourself essentially meeting somebody while you're still technically speaking married to this person or a relationship with this person to the right of me. That person / relationship is going to essentially give you the motivation, right, to get up and leave this toxic and unhealthy relationship, which you definitely will. I am definitely getting that strongly. That's how I see you breaking free from this connection. You're going to eventually hit this point of no longer having fear to leave this dynamic between you and this person that you have a lot of history with, but there's also going to be somebody in your life that's going to give you that motivation and that inspiration to do so as well. So it's basically like a combo of both is basically what I'm getting, but it's all about divine timing here. It's all about divine timing here. I am definitely getting that you will eventually leave this dynamic, but when the timing is essentially right, and I can't emphasize this enough, you're going to have some help and assistance when it comes down to actually leaving this dynamic here between the two of you. I am definitely getting that. You're going to have some help. So this person that you're going to find yourself essentially meeting, and you're still going to, technically speaking, be married or in a relationship with this person to the right of me, they're going to basically come along and they're going to essentially help you break free from this toxic and unhealthy dynamic. They will be, they will be pushing you to essentially leave this dynamic between you and this person. I am definitely getting that. And like I said, your relationship with this person is basically what's going to inspire you to want better basically for yourself, because when this person walks into your life, they're going to be nothing like this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. They're going to be different, you know what I mean? And I think that that's what's going to cause you to gravitate towards this individual the most, is because they are going to be very different, from this person that you've been dealing with for quite some time. Now this person's basically going to show you what you could have, and it's going to highlight to you what you've been settling for, aka this person that one day makes it seem like they love you and they care about you and you're their everything, and the next day they make it seem like you're absolutely nothing to them. This is not how this other individual is going to essentially make you feel whatsoever. You're not going to find yourself questioning, damn, does this person love me? Does this person actually care about me? Because if they do, why this and why that? You're not going to fucking find yourself questioning, you know what I mean? If this other individual loves you or not, you're just going to instantly know it. Excuse me. You're just going to instantly know it. You're just going to instantly feel it. I think that the problem that you're having here is that you're connecting with somebody who doesn't make you feel safe and or secure. And it's because you're not supposed to feel safe and secure with this person. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. You find yourself pursuing a life with the wrong person is basically what it all kind of boils down to. I don't necessarily feel like you're the problem, like this person claims you are. I don't feel like you're the problem whatsoever. I think that they give you every reason, like I said, to make you feel the way that you feel and make you think the things that you think, and that's not on you. That's honestly on them. So then there's that. What actions? We have the Empress, we have the Star, and then we also have the Knight of Swords. And that's like another problem with the individual that you're connecting with, which I feel like that's like a major life lesson that, the universe has been trying to essentially teach this person for a while now. This is that type of person that values and appreciates a good thing when they no longer have access to it. Okay. They just have a history of that, is basically what I'm getting. There will come a point in time where this person will definitely lose you, and they're going to basically lose you to somebody else. That's just kind of what I see it all kind of boiling down to. But when this person does essentially lose you, because they will, they're not going to automatically find themselves well, let me put it to you like this. When this person does lose you, because they will, they're not going to know about this other person, is basically what I'm getting. In other words, they're not going to be under the impression that you're leaving them because of somebody else that treats you 10 times better. They're going to be under the impression that you're essentially leaving them because they basically refuse to change and step up to the plate and get their act together and treat you the way that you deserve to be treated and things of that nature. That's going to be the impression that they're going to essentially be under, that's why you're essentially leaving them, is because they refuse to change their ways and get their act together. Do I see this person eventually finding out about this other individual? Yeah, sure. But by the time they find out about this other individual, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. You're not going to circle back to this, dynamic all over again. Once you meet this person, they're going to give you the inspiration you essentially need to get up and walk away from this relationship. Once you also meet this person, this fear of leaving this dynamic is no longer going to be within you anymore. And that's the thing that's basically holding you back, right? Is fear and the level of the unknown. But once you meet this person, you're not going to have this fear of leaving this marriage and relationship anymore. You're not going to have this fear of the level of the unknown anymore. And this relationship with this new person is going to highlight to you what you could have, and it's going to also highlight to you what you've been settling for, which doesn't really align to you and what you truly feel like you honestly deserve at the end of the day. You're not going to find yourself questioning, does this man love me or not? Or does this woman love me or not? You're not going to fucking find yourself feeling that way with this other person. You're just not. And you're going to be able to notice that and feel that when you essentially meet this person. So with that being said, unfortunately for them, I think that this person will learn to value and appreciate you as well as cherish you when they essentially lose you, unfortunately for them. But they just, they just kind of have a bad habit of, appreciating things when they no longer have it, instead of appreciating it when they do have it. You see what I mean? And because this person couldn't learn to value or appreciate you when they essentially had you, somebody else is going to. Somebody else is going to. And that's just the reality of the situation. Somebody else is going to. And they will eventually end up finding out about it. I am definitely getting that. But initially, at first, when you do leave this dynamic, they're going to think that you're just leaving because they refuse to get their act together and change. That's what they're going to essentially think. But it'll eventually be revealed to them the real reason why you decided to get up and leave. And it is because of another person. The reason why they're going to end up finding out that it has a lot to do with another person is because they're going to be very consistent, persistent after you. When this relationship between the two of you does come to an end, and that's how they're going to end up essentially finding out. Because I don't see this dynamic between the two of you coming to an end and you going your way and them going their way. No. Like, they're going to be consistent, persistent with you, and that's how they're going to end up finding out about this other person. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.